The news headline: Family demands justice as South Africa returnee died in Imo State police custody. Kastina man arrested for sending offensive message to governor's aides on birthday. My sad story: a family stolen treasure. Buhari admit failure, says 12 million Nigeria students are afraid to go back to school. Bandits impose 400,000 levies on Sokoto state communities, issue ultimatum threatens attack. Hello and welcome back to another episode with Lady Sylvia. Details of the news. Family demands justice as South Africa returnee dies in Imo State police custody. It was gathered that Nnamdi recently returned to his hometown, Umagu, in Olo East local government area of Imo State. A Nigerian based in South Africa, Nnamdi has reportedly died in the custody of anti-kidnapping units of the Imo State Police Command. According to Punch, Nnamdi and his extended family members were preparing for the one-year remembrance of late uncle when he was asked to inquire about the prices of drinks needed for the celebration. Nnamdi on his way to run errand when 4 armed policemen reportedly stormed the community in a Sienna vehicle and started arresting people indiscriminately. Youth in the area ran away on sighting the armed men, while the victim, who did not run, was apprehended and taken to an undisclosed destination. Some of the youth who escaped informed the family about the incident. The deceased elder brother, Chigozie, said, "The incident happened on August 24, 2021. My brother, who was preparing to return to South Africa, was sent to an errand on Orie Nepe Market to inquire about the prices of drinks to be used for a remembrance ceremony. 2 hours after he left, some youth from the neighboring community ran to our house to inform us that 4 armed policemen arrested him. The youth said they ran, but he didn't run, as a clear conscience fears no evil. Upon receiving this shocking news, I searched for him in neighboring communities and all the police stations, including the area command, but I was told they never facilitate any arrest that day. I returned home to explain all that I went through, and some family members suggested they might be kidnappers and might call soon. But on August 28th, a young man came to inform us that he saw my brother in an anti-kidnapping unit in Owerri. Chigozie noted that the resident was at the police unit to monitor another case he reported when he saw Nnamdi. He said Nnamdi's case being handled by one Inspector Osabo Marin, who incidentally was also the investigating police officer of the unnamed resident's case. The young man said he was discussing with his IPO when the IPO said that they arrested my brother from the village after they mistook him for another person. The man said he told the IPO that he knew Nnamdi. Based on the information, I visited the anti-kidnapping unit, but after searching their records for my brother's name, I was told that he did not have such a suspect in custody. I returned home, invited the young man again, and he repeated the same thing he told my mother. I asked if his IPO was the same as my brother's, and he said yes. He even gave me the IPO's number. I pleaded with him to accompany me to the anti-kidnapping unit. We were close to the unit office when he called the IPO that he wanted to see him, and he said he was around, Chigozie noted. I was learned that on getting to the control post, the resident called the IPO again, saying he was with Nnamdi's brother who came for his bill. Based on the threat, the young man refused further assistance. I also went with a lawyer who demanded to see Nnamdi, but the police told her that they did not have him. I petitioned the Deputy Inspector General of Police, Area 10, Kaki, Abuja. He referred the case to the homicide section of his department to investigate. Some officers then traveled from Abuja to Owerri for a proper investigation, and they unmasked the hidden agenda of the IPO and his cohorts. The IPO, Osabor Marin, accepted that he arrested Nnamdi on August 23rd and that he died in their custody on August 29 after he was beaten by another inmate. He confessed that the remains of my brother were deposited at the Federal Medical Center mortuary. The IPO had the tag of my brother's corpse without informing his family. I was given two options. Either they should release the corpse for the burial or an autopsy be conducted to ascertain the cause of his death. The autopsy was conducted on September 11, 2021, and the pathologist said there was nothing like human beat on my brother's corpse, but they refused to release the autopsy report as I was told it is confidential document for the police. I believe the IPO Osabor Marin and his team killed my brother. All we want is justice. When the state police public relations officer Michael Obaton was contacted, he said, I will find out, but it is better you come so that we can talk over it. It's not a phone thing, please. Alright guys, over to another news. Buhari admits failure, say 12 billion Nigeria's children are afraid of going back to school. The president noted that this became a contributing factor to the reason school-aged children were afraid to go back to school. President Muhammadu Buhari has admitted that more 12 million Nigeria's children, mostly females, are being traumatized by the recent rate of bandit abduction and insurgency, especially in schools in the northern region. The president noted that this became a contributing factor to the reason school-aged children were afraid to go back to school. Buhari also identified the abduction of pupils and students, increased activity of insurgency, and general insecurity in the educational system as factors responsible for the growing number of Nigeria out-of-school children. He stated that these are the flag-off of the 4th International Conference on Safe School Declaration held in Abuja on Tuesday. Buhari, who was represented by the Chief of Staff Ibrahim Gambari, noted that bandits, kidnappers, and tourists invaded educational facilities at will to abduct the learners in large number in places like Chibok, Dipchen, Boni, Hadi, Afrik, Kangara, and Jenibe in Benue, Yobe, Kaduna, Niger, and Zamfara State, respectively. The president said, it is disheartening to note that even when the abducted students are released, the drama of the incident remains long in their minds. Hence, they plan to have teachers trained on psychosocial support. It's been tough dealing with these security challenges and their effects. Moving forward, our faith in the nation is unshaken. We have been strong, determined, and robust in order to enhance the security of learning institutions and the accompanied therein. The Minister of Education, Adamu, has earlier said that it was the first time the Conference on Safe School Declaration was being held on Africa continent. Over to another news. Bandits impose 400,000 levies on Sokoto State community. Issue ultimatum, threatens attack. The population of each community is said to be considered in determining the amount they will pay. Every bandit has been imposing levies on the residents of eastern part of Sokoto State, with the assailant asking them to pay the money before next Friday or they will be attacked. According to Daily Trust, some of the communities have settled the bandits while others were working hard to raise the money. The population of each community is said to be considered in determining the amount they will pay. Some are asked to pay 400,000, some 700,000, while some even pay less than that, and it's left for the community to decide how the money will be raised. In some communities, head of household are asked to pay 2,000 each, and young men that are not married 1,000 each, another source said. According to reports, Atalowa, Damalike, Adamawa, Dokuman, Sadunan, and Dangiri villages were attacked to pay 400,000 each. while residents of Kwase village bid 4 million were said to have already paid 2 million out of the money to the bandits. All the villagers were giving up to Friday to pay the money or risk their lives. People are paying because they have no other option, one of the sources added. Confirming the development was a member representing Sabo Benin North constituency, Aminu Mustafa Gobi, who said there has been an attack in Sabo Benin in recent times because the local were complying with the directives of the bandits. The people refer to pay and live in peace in their community than to rely on security agency or go on exile, he said. However, a chairman of Sabo Benin local government area, Idris Mohammed, however, flaunt on the payment of levies to bandits, stressing that doing so will not guarantee people's safety. We have different groups of bandits in the area. If you pay a levy to this group, how sure are you the other group will not attack you? The same scenario unfolded in Gatawa and Tara, which were attacked and several of the people abducted by different groups of bandits. Their relatives have to pay ransom to those different groups before they release them. This is what will continue to happen. If one group places a levy on you and you pay, another group will come to either come to attack or demand for levy again, and you must pay them or face the consequence, he said. The spokesman for police in Sokoto, ASP Sanisu Abubakar, and the Commissioner for Security and Career Matter, Colin Igabe Moye, didn't respond to several calls placed across to them, including text messages they sent. Over to another news. Kastina man arrested for sending offensive message to governor's aides on birthday. The Kastina State Police Command has arrested a 39-year-old man, Ahmed, for alleged cyber stalking a governor's aide. According to the police, Abdul Mumini arrested followed a complaint by Governor's Aminu Masari, Special Advisor on Domestic Affairs, Alhaji Ibrahim Umar. Punch report that Umar allegedly told the police that the suspect made derogatory remarks about him via email. He claimed that he saw the offensive message while going through various goodwill messages sent to him by people of his 55th birthday, October 25, 2021. The State Police Public Relations Officer SP Gabon Issa, who confirmed the incident on Tuesday, said the police traced the offensive message to Abdulmumini. Abdulmumini was currently arrested. He confessed during interrogation to have sent the email. He has committed an offense under Section 24, A, 1, and B of the Cybercrime Act 2015, he added. The suspect, who was paraded at the police command headquarters, Kastina, on Tuesday, said he never meant to insult the governor's aide with the message. He said in answer, "It is true I sent the email to him, but my intention was not to deride or defame him." Over to another news. My sad story, a family stolen treasure. Solomon was first of his 4 children of his mother. Esther, who hailed from Eziagu in Enugu State, described him as a blessing that arrived in her life on the 1st of October 1998. A firstborn, Solomon Chinedu, was everything to his family. Now, thanks to the police, he is no more. Esther Obi's son, Solomon Chinedu Obi, was shot and killed during the NSAS protest on the 21st of October last year. 6 years after Solomon was born, his father died and our lives changed, Esther says. Life as a single mother was tough. Esther struggled to make ends meet to sustain the family. Herself and her children live in a small room made entirely of pitch roofing sheets with a leaking roof. Anytime it rains, the place gets flooded, and when the sun shines, they have to leave the room. It's even worse than the weather is cold. They found ourselves regularly visiting the hospital because they were always guilty in. Despite these difficulties, she says, I managed to raise funds for Solomon to train as a mechanic. The sacrifice paid off. In just 4 years of training, he quickly took to the craft, to the point that he could repair trailered vehicles, tankers, and timber trucks. Solomon was a caring and responsible young man. In the absence of his father, he was the family's whole provider and was only 22 years old when he was killed. Before he died, Esther says, he has started to make plans to move us out of this terrible place. In fact, that very Wednesday of his death, they were at home together when he received a call. The call was from one of the companies whose heavy-duty vehicles he usually fixed. They wanted his service once again. Solomon told his family as he was leaving the house that on completing this job, he planned to use the payment to secure a new apartment for our family. The next thing his family heard was that he has been shot by police as a tool in the EndSARS protest. It was confusing because they all knew he had left home to do a job and not to protest. Solomon's friends at work told Esther he was shot in the chest by an officer called Iman. On arriving at the hospital, the doctor told Esther Solomon has fought so hard to live. I do not think there are words to describe how I felt when the doctor led us into the mortuary to see my son's lifeless body, Esther says. If life after my husband's death was tough, she continued, then life after Solomon has been on another level. His death has devastated our family. Even feeding has become a struggle because he was the one who put food on our table. Esther is left with the difficult task of being the sole provider for her children. I go around the city collecting people's clothes to wash in order to make some money. I earn about 2,000 to 3,000 naira daily in doing that. I used to sell food, but there was issues with where I was selling. Other sellers relocated, but because I could not afford to move, I had to quit selling. I don't have anybody to speak for us, only God. The officer Emmanuel was given a gun to protect people, not to kill them. He should be arrested and made to face the law. He took Solomon away from us and left us to suffer. Almost every day, when we wake up to Solomon's absence at home, we cry, it's not fair. It's hot, it's really hot, Esther says. She continues saying, my Solomon had dreams. People around him would call him Idumale, and he will answer, don't worry, if I ever get to Malaysia, it will only take me 3 months to become better than all the mechanics working there. Oh, my son, I don't know why God allowed him to die like this. Why did he not spare his life for me? For us, Esther cried. Alright guys, this is where I'll be stopping for today. If you consider my news interesting, please do consider to hit the subscribe button and also the notification icon so that whenever I upload any video, you'll always be the first to be notified. And if you don't find it interesting, please feel free to leave your opinion in the comment section. And as you do that, God will bless you all in Jesus' name. Amen.